Hold on. You're good. I swear I'm a professional.
Are you?
Hello, everybody. I am a professional.
Music's really. There we go.
Are we good? Are we still good? Okay, I swear it's. I had something, but it didn't work out for me. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
It's
Good morning, everybody.
wow.
I have. I think I have. Oh, there we go. I've been wanting to show you a lot of trailers lately, Abby, because I want to hear your opinion on something, and I have a lot of questions to ask you about this. But I wanted to show you the new Pokemon game because I remember you saying how lately Pokemon has become like handholdy and
Yeah,
not.
it's basically a new game every year, and it's like let us sit on it for a couple of years. Damn.
I mean, for real. When was the last Pokemon game? Was it the Violet and Scarlet, right?
Violet. Yeah.
But there was also a game in between those. Arceus? Or was that
Yeah.
before?
That was 2022. Oh shit! It's actually been a minute.
Wow, I thought it was longer. I mean, shorter. I do feel that there was another Pokemon they released between then and now.
Yeah, there was. Pokemon games in order. Let's.
So let me move this a little away from me. There we go.
Shield, Snap was 2021. Arceus was 2020. Oh, Arceus and Scarlet and Violet were the same year.
Oh, that's
Um,
why. Okay.
Detective Pikachu Returns was 2023. So they slowed down, thank God.
Hmm.
But that's also probably because there's a new console coming out.
Oh, that's true. The Switch 2, which I have we talked about that? We can talk about that. I
Mm.
we can talk about that later. But first, I wanted to show you this trailer because I would like to hear your opinions. I have strong opinions on this, but I wasn't a big Pokemon. I was a Pokemon fan late in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's
As an
see.
adult, basically.
Yeah, as an adult. So I would like to hear your thoughts. Okay, we're gonna go. Grab your popcorn, everybody.
Oh, God.
Za. Sorry.
Pokemon Legends
Z.
ZA is a new title in the
Here.
Pokemon series.
I don't care what they say. They can say ZA. I'm gonna say Za. Pokemon
The story
Za.
takes place in Lumio City, the largest city in the Kalos region.
Oh, we're going
Prism
back.
Tower.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Wonderful.
It's okay. Yes.
Awesome.
We're
Okay,
going.
well, we knew that they were in talks because for the longest, I'm gonna go ahead and derail this real
No,
quick.
go
For the
ahead.
longest time, because Pokemon was like a collab game-ish, like
Mhm.
you, um, so let's go back to like the first like real, well, like Red and Blue / Green,
Yes.
were individuals and things were like game locked, so you'd
Mhm.
have to swap and trade with people to complete your Pokédex.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, and the first one, like, so the second generation was gold and silver, and then they had crystal. So
Mhm.
gold had one type of Pokemon, silver had the other type of Pokemon. So like one had Weedle, the other had Caterpie. Um, crystal had both.
Yeah.
I think except for like a few Pokemon, but basically it had both. So
Mhm.
you'd go into an area that usually had one or the other, it would have both as an option
Mhm.
to catch. So like when we got what was this, X and Y? Yeah, X and Y, they had talked about Z for a long, long time. So the fact that we're going back and finally getting Z, sad that we're not getting it on the 3DS, is actually exciting.
I I'm gonna hold off on my thoughts. I will not. I want to hear. Let's watch because
Okay.
yes, everyone is very excited that we're going back. Um.
Because they stopped doing that. Like
Yeah.
Black and White never got Gray.
Yeah.
Um, Sun and Moon never got Star. Like we Scarlet and Violet will never get whatever. Sword and Shield never got like whatever was
Gun.
supposed to be the third. Arrow. I think it was actually supposed to be
Damn,
Arrow.
it should have been gun.
Yeah, your American showing man.
Oh, right,
from
right.
But yeah, no, they stopped with this third installment, which doesn't make sense. They wouldn't, their quality would be better if they slowed down. So did 2 years of like Sword and Shield, and then year 3 released the collaborate, like the not collaboration game, but like the solo game, because it like you wouldn't have to have friends to complete your Pokédex.
There you go. So everyone see the subtitles. Yeah. No, so I think when people heard about it, everyone is very, very excited that yes, we are going backwards in a good way.
Yeah.
But okay, focus on the setting and everything. It's beautiful and all, but also watch the gameplay. I think that's the one thing. Just okay.
Or stands tall at the center of this city
Look
of
how beautiful
beautiful
it is.
vistas.
It was already really
These
pretty
days,
for the
Lumiose
3DS.
is
It really
undergoing a
was.
high-tech
So
urban
good.
redevelopment plan to turn it into
I
a
like the
city that people
holograms.
and Pokemon truly
Like
share.
I truly do love the design. Hold on, I'm gonna pause. I truly love the setting and design because again, for the 3DS, you can only do so much. The way that they did this is so pretty. However, I am worried because of how beautiful this looks. You know, in previous games, you know, older games, you can actually enter a home and explore the home, the designs in the home and in the shops and stuff like that. But in Scarlet and Violet, you enter a store and you don't get to see it. You just get a menu. They don't
Oh,
you know what I mean?
okay. Yeah. So like how in Aviary Village, I know I'm like, haha, it's not a podcast without Abby talking about Sky. Aviary Village is like that option now. You can go through and actually like interact with people and see like a storefront.
Yeah.
And actually see the store instead of just
Yes.
having like a little closet.
Yeah, and I hate that. Like, cause when I want to explore a lot of Scarlet and Violet, or it's just those little things, you know, you see it, and then when you walk
Yeah.
in, you don't actually walk in. You just walk in, and then out pops a menu. You don't get to see what the store would look like. You don't get to see the houses look like, you know, because each store and each like
I
Pokemon
think
Center
they
is different.
stupefied it is what they did. Like, because I remember some people complaining. I don't remember which one, if it was Sword and Shield or if it was X and Y. It could have been Sun and Moon, but like they couldn't figure out like where the changing room was. So you'd go into like a clothing store and where the changing room was.
Yeah, but I like the exploring. Well, that's just me.
Same, agreed.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
that's the entire point of like Pokemon is to explore.
Yes, and I love that.
After
I
you
love that
arrive
about
in
Pokemon.
Lumiose City to see the sights, you'll meet 3 Pokemon, one of which will become your first partner. Chikorita,
Look how cute they are. They look so cute.
Oh, we're going back to Chikorita? That's
Yes.
like in 2. Okay.
You know what's crazy? When actually let me show
Tepig,
them. The pig.
and Totodile.
When the starters were released,
Oh, we're going. Nope, don't like that. You have 2 Gen 2 and then a singular Gen 3. I don't like that.
so when this was released, a lot of people were like Chikorita for life because you know, Chikorita apparently
Yeah.
doesn't get a lot of love or whatever. But
Chikorita, like, because Chikorita was a cunt in the show. Like, I'm not gonna lie, she was an absolute bitch. She was a
Yeah.
pick-me.
oh
She was
my god,
constantly fighting Pikachu for Ash's attention. So, like, yeah. Where?
it's interesting that these are the startup. I mean, Totodile, you know, if I had to choose between the 3, I would choose Totodile. But that's just my opinion.
But I think it's incredibly weird that it's like we have, again, 2 Gen 2s and
One
in,
Gen 3.
like a Gen 3.
He was supposed to be in the Gen 2.
Cyndaquil.
That's who. Why didn't they do that?
Like, instead of, like, pick 3 different ones from 3 different generations if you're gonna do this.
That's true. I don't
I
understand
wouldn't
why
be
they
mad
did
about
that.
that. I'm mad that it's 2 and 1.
Also, can we just say, because Cyndaquil is absolutely adorable, between the 3, if Cyndaquil was there, I would opt. I think I did pick Cyndaquil. Seeing Cyndaquil in 3D would have been amazing. You know what I mean? Maybe they picked Tepig because it was
I
simpler.
don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's dumb. That's the first thing I'm saying that's
Yes.
pissed me off
Oh,
already.
you're there. Well, wait. There's more. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You'll choose one of these Pokemon to accompany you on a new journey as you get to know Lumiose City and its inhabitants.
Yeah, I hate that.
Here are some
I love the character design so far.
of
They're
the
very
colorful characters
Wait,
you'll
wait, wait,
encounter.
pause.
Cute. Yep.
Middle guy looks like a white-haired version of Ponyo's dad from Ponyo.
Oh,
Liam
yeah, I
Neeson's
can see
character.
it. I can see it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
When you arrive in Lumiose, you'll meet a new friend and ally. Either
Oh,
Urbane
okay.
or Tawny.
Back up a little bit.
Okay, backing
That
up.
Pokemon.
Backing up.
Too far.
Okay, we'll play.
Arrive in Lumiose,
Pause
you'll
at the
meet
Pokemon.
Yes,
Being okay, that's a dark type.
it is.
That's dark or poison, that's a base fairy Pokemon.
What an interesting thing that you saw that, because I've seen it too. And
Interesting.
you're gonna
because
see-
there's different colors, and
Uh-huh.
that was one of the things I focused on catching.
yeah, because that was the big thing about this whole story anyway. That little Pokemon.
Oh.
You're gonna see a few Pokemon that kind of look a little different. Just keep your eyes out, okay?
New friend and
it's not a regional difference because this is its regions it was originated in. So like, what are you?
Mm-hmm.
ally. Either Urbane or Tawny.
Both
the
cute.
hotel where you'll be staying
Urbane.
Urbane.
God, he is tall. What the fuck, man?
Oh yeah. You know,
Oh,
you
wait, okay, no,
you
I think I
saying
know
about
who he
the-
is.
Huh?
I think I know who he is. He's like, I think it's been a really, really long time since I've played.
Mhm.
I think he's supposed to be like the villain in X and Y.
So, a lot of people pointed out they're mixing a lot of different previous Pokemon games into this. You obviously
Which
have-
I'm not mad about because it's Z through A.
Yes.
Like, I'm not mad about that, but it's like some of the choices is weird.
Mm-hmm. Not only are you, because this is like you're picking certain. Okay, you're going back to a place that isn't new, right? You're going back to, yeah, that I forgot what region they said. You have
Unova, I
you,
think.
huh?
I think it's Unova. X and Y is Unova, I think.
Right, the French, right? France.
Paris equivalent, yes.
Okay, because I was about to say I think that's what it was. You have new characters, some interesting new Pokemon, and it's the same but not the same as what people are very confused what this game is going to be like. Okay,
is run by
Okay.
AZ. You'll also
AZ.
meet his partner, Floette.
look how cute. Like,
Eternal Flower,
uh-huh.
Floette. So she might be like one of a
Floette?
kind, if not a legendary.
I think the design is very cute. I don't know what it is about the color scheme, but I really like it. I don't know, but I just wanted to show you. That's very cute. Yeah.
Lumiose's redevelopment is being managed by
Lumiose,
Quasartico Inc. You'll
Yeah.
become acquainted with the company's CEO,
Well,
Jet,
Lumiose
and her
is like the city itself,
Mm-hmm,
like the
the
Pallet
region is
Town
different.
is in
Ah,
Hallow.
yes, yes, yes.
What? Right. X and Y takes place in Kalos. Spoiler
That's what it
alert,
was.
because we're in a different timeline. It is an established fact within the game that like we are in a different timeline.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a different dimension. So it's Kalos.
Okay.
secretary, Vinny.
Look at that
The
tall
different
man.
people you meet will make your time in Lumiose all the richer.
I find it interesting that we're sticking almost exclusively in Lumiose.
Yes, which is it is very good point. But I'm gonna hold out. I have
Also,
comments.
What are these Pokemon on this pillar?
I have no idea.
It's like vaguely Pokemon.
To help
Vaguely
people and
Pokemon.
coexist,
I don't
the
know who
city
it
has
is.
set up
Dragon?
a wild zone.
It's a dragon. It looks like a dragon.
It looks like it's supposed to be a
These are-
dragon, but I don't recognize it.
Yeah, I was about to
Ah.
say.
We are stuck in Lumiose because
Mhm.
if we are running into Pokemon, all right.
Yes. There's a lot of questions.
areas located throughout Lumios give wild Pokemon habitats where they can thrive.
So you're stuck within the
Yeah.
city of Lumios.
Which is, I'm sorry, awful because like
Yeah, okay. Yes.
the region of X and Y, Kalos, again,
Mhm.
it's Kalos, is beautiful.
It is.
There's so much to it. Like how are you supposed to have like a beach area, a mountain area, a volcanic
Mhm.
area? Like what
In a city.
in a city?
Yes. So just keep that in mind. We're gonna keep going because again, I have a lot of things I got. Yeah.
To catch one of these wild Pokemon, aim carefully, then throw a Pokeball.
Okay, so we're sticking with Arceus and
If you're having a hard time catching one, have one of
What
your
is it?
Pokemon use its
Look at the gameplay.
moves to
Just watch
weaken
the
the
game.
target, making it easier to
Oh.
catch. This game offers a style of Pokemon battling not
This.
seen in previous titles. Moves can have a longer or shorter reach, or different.
Do you see that?
oh.
Yes. Okay. Keep it in
Okay,
mind.
I'm not mad about that though.
Okay. Just keep.
It's
Here's
weird.
some effects.
It is very much
So
weird.
choose your timing and positioning carefully to gain
But
the
I'm
upper
not
hand.
mad about that.
You have to move and choose the timing and positioning. So not only so you can't just sit back and fight. You actually have to put in a little bit more effort in catching
I
Pokemon.
kind of like that,
That-
honestly, though.
I
I
am a
understand
little
why people don't
skeptical.
like it.
Yes, a lot of people are like, this is a new thing to get used to. But in terms of like Pokemon itself, this is a good and welcome change. You know, I
Yeah,
feel like it's more
I'm
action
not mad about
oriented.
it. I don't think I will like it for the first while if I ever get this game, but
Mhm.
like
I'm a little skeptical,
I'm g-
but yes, this is now, if you look, it looks a little turn based. Just watch, you'll see what I mean.
I mean, it's always been turn-based.
No, I mean like
Lead your
okay, hold
partner
on.
Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks. Swap Pokemon.
When you use a power, there is a timer for when you can use it again. So you can't
Okay,
use
I'm
it,
not mad about that.
yeah, in rapid succession. You
if
have
you
to
need
use other
and find
things.
the right moment to unleash a move.
I mean, I
See,
I
right
don't.
where it says rock slide, it's slowly
Yeah.
going back up. So you're not technically, it's not none of the other previous Pokemon games had that. So
Which
it's
is fine.
it's interesting. This is okay. I'm gonna
I'm
hold
not-
all my comments. There's
I'm
a lot.
not mad about that though.
I'm
Like,
not
it
either.
makes sense because it's like instead of like a 1-for-1 turn,
Yes, it's not
you
like
have
that.
more control over this because it's just like why. I'm not mad about it.
You
I
also
probably will end up sucking really bad at this because I'm this isn't usually the game style I play, but like objectively I'm not mad at this development.
You would also, I'm not mad at it either because for me, I like to have something a little bit more engaging or else I'll get
Yes.
bored. Like that is who I am as a person. So this makes you, in my opinion, makes you think about what powers you need to have, like what powers that would benefit you instead of just taking whatever, whatever and using it rapidly. You actually need to have like good backup power to play while the other one is recharging. And I do like that you get to move around. It's all based on like, what do you call it? How your aim, I guess.
Yeah.
I really do like that. Like I really appreciate that.
What's more, certain Pokemon
this
can go
thing.
beyond evolution by undergoing Mega Evolution.
Yeah, we've had Mega
When
Yeah.
a trainer's keystone
We've had
resonates with
Z-powers,
the Mega Stone
like,
held by
we-
their Pokemon, the Pokemon will do more than just change shape. It'll unlock a new level of power,
This isn't
turning the
anything
tide
new.
of battle in its favor.
No, this isn't anything new, but it does look really cool. Let me go back. It does look really cool on the playing
Full of power,
field if you
turning
see
the
it.
tide of battle in its
See, that looks really awesome.
favor.
Yeah, they're doing really, really good jobs with like the effects.
Yes, I can appreciate that.
As Lumios continues its transformation into a city that
I'm
belongs to
just
both people
not
and
a
Pokemon,
fan that I understand it. Like I do. With how much they've added into this, you'd
Hmm.
never get through the game if you had all of Kalos.
That's true.
Like I understand that, but I'm also kind of pissed at it because it's like, but you could have all of Kalos.
I
Could.
okay. I
You
guess
it's been 3 years since um what is it, Violet and Scarlet?
yes.
And you you could have this. You could have all of Kalos.
In terms
Or
of
more of Kalos,
yeah,
and more than just the city. But you're wanting to have another quick turnaround.
that's true. I also maybe I'll just go ahead and say it. I do think that in Scarlet and Violet, and I have both me and my husband play it. One thing that we didn't quite enjoy was yes, it was open world, but it felt so empty. Like everything felt empty.
Which I
Whereas
I I do see that with Arceus and
yes, Arceus was the same
Scarlet and
way
Valley.
because they.
Because it's like you're used to just like this tiny little person being in
Mhm.
this tiny little field. And, like I did kind of see that some in Sword and Shield,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah,
Um
it's just it feels empty, and when it feels empty to me and it's not engaging, I feel like it's boring.
I feel like
Having
that's also like what, like ground design, like
yes,
planes design. Like if you don't make it interesting, then that's a problem.
I again I
Um,
can't diss the Nintendo for doing because again the Switch isn't as powerful as other consoles, and I understand that. So I get why like a lot of the planes, like you were saying, is empty, but it bores me.
but Sword and Shield wasn't that bad.
No, 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 no. I'm talking, yeah, because it was much more prominent when I was playing Violet and Scarlet.
Yeah,
For sure, it was much more prominent there.
and that's
Who
on them
That
for
is on
like
them.
they like
They cut corners
they
in
can
that game. I felt like
yeah, yeah. No,
because
agreed.
I feel like they were because again, Arceus and Scarlet Violet came out the same year. They probably should have just focused on one particular game because both of
Mhm.
those games were lacking in that.
Well, they're also too similar because like
Hmm.
we would also have things like Pokemon Dungeon that would come out
Oh
the same
yeah,
year as like some of the other games, but it's like that was a completely different kind of like play style.
it was.
And Arceus and Scarlet and Violet were basically the exact same thing.
I feel like yeah, I feel like that was like they were testing the waters. And
Mhm.
in this game, I also feel like they are testing the waters. Like this is a tester game before another big game comes out where they can use like depending on if players really enjoyed this game, they will take what they learned from here to apply it to the Switch too because you're not going to believe when this comes out.
Who knows what kinds of encounters and
Like this is
experiences
cute.
will
Like
await you?
I love the setting. Give me more of this. Give me a like more world building with rooftop tables and all that ish. Give me more of that shit.
They've always been like
Pokemon
limited. Like
Legends
if you can have access to something late 2025. Yeah, and isn't like the new
Switch?
Switch coming out like late this year or next year?
I thought it was next year. 2026.
ZA. Coming late
But
2025.
we're also not seeing, we just see that it's Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
We don't know if this is like for
Oh, oh,
OG Switch or Switch 2.
you again.
Rotom. Oh. Okay.
Was that it? That was it.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. Don't know what that's about. But this is all came out in Pokemon Day, right? Or whatever this week.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to
Like,
see the stream or anything. Man, I'll have to share my screen, do I? Okay, we're good. Um, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
rough, I know.
Oh, for Pokemon Day, I didn't get a chance to see the stream. That's what it was because I was busy and I
Mhm.
couldn't do it. But I did see the responses of some of the of what a lot of people were talking about. And one of the biggest things was, in fact, Chikorita.
Yeah.
They were like, yay, Chikorita. Chikorita lovers unite. Because I didn't realize how many people really favor Chikorita. Like, that's one of their favorite Pokemons.
Yeah.
Which is, I
She
mean,
was my starter when I played like Silver.
Cyndaquil was
Crystal.
mine when I played with my husband. I just
I
love
think
Cyndaquil.
when I went completely through the entirety of Crystal, which when I was like on like a 19-hour road trip to a ski retreat with my youth group, like Chikorita was my main.
I love the Chikorita design. I really do. Even
Yeah.
its evolution. I really, really like it.
Bayleaf and Meganium.
Mm-hmm.
I love Meganium. Meganium's look is like killer. I love it.
Like, it's very cute. It's a very cute Pokemon, but Rowlet forever if I'm doing a grass type. I love Rowlet.
I mean, fair.
Rowlet forever. But
But yeah, no, it bothers me that we don't get our starters for Hallows.
not only that, I feel, and maybe this is, excuse me, 1 second. Something got caught in my throat. All right, my opinion on this game.
Okay, never mind. Actually, that's fine. We can have something other than this.
Huh?
This was the generation that fucking betrayed me.
Oh, oh wait, how? Explain before I go
Chespin.
in.
Chespin was my starter. Chespin was my starter.
Chespin.
It was Chespin, Finnegan, and Froakie.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Chespin.
Chespin fucking betrayed me. I was so fucking pissed. So when like Sun and Moon came out, I'm like, usually I'm not one to go for spoilers. I'm gonna let my Pokemon evolve. It'll surprise me. Nope. Trust issues. Cannot. Like,
What?
I will.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is hilarious.
You know what? I'll take Chikorita.
Chikorita's cute. Like, Chikorita's cute for real. And it's the same with Rowlet. Rowlet's between Rowlet's final form, like the middle, he looks like a prick. Like
He
a
looks like-
condescending prick. And I love
I mean, he's a teenager though. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I know.
Tolerate that.
and
But
he-
like, Chespin was an absolute betrayal. Like, absolute betrayal. Because it's like, cool. Like, he's gonna end up like really cute and really cool. Like, let's go.
Oh no.
His middle evolution and final evolution, dumb as fuck. I hate both of them.
You know what? Okay, so again, I am very new to Pokemon. One evolution that I really appreciated was in what game was it? Hold on. Sword and Shield, because I picked Sobble, the little sad
Yeah.
chameleon.
I love Shovel.
Sobble goes from Sobble, little sad chameleon, to an emo chameleon to a fucking deadly spy. And I'm like, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah, that tracks.
That tracks. That tracks.
Score Bunny ends up turning into a soccer player.
I was about to say, and I love that. And he
Yeah.
looks
And
great.
they stay single type. They say they're single type. They don't evolve into like a different type, like a secondary type.
Mm-hmm. And
Score Bunny
honestly,
stays fire, Sobble stays water, and then whoever the green one was at the moment.
it
I
was
don't
the
remember.
monkey one. Oh shoot, what's
Oh,
his name?
Grookey.
Grookey. Yes, Grookey ends up being a drummer.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate the design. I really like, because some of the maybe we should do this on a podcast one day. Some of the evolutions just don't make sense to what you think they would end up being, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like it's fine, I guess. But anyway, back to the topic. I am interested in seeing how this game is going to be like, because I don't feel like I think this is Pokemon's big step on changing what Pokemon is.
Yeah.
Because now not only are you're not just staying in one static location, you know, and pushing buttons, you have to move, you have to time it, you have to do a bunch of other things. Like, that is
I'm gonna share my screen
Interesting.
with you real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. That to me is
Uh,
interesting. I really like that. Um, but a lot of people,
so
oh
yeah.
wow.
So this is Sword and Shield. Like we're in a city, like a pretty big city in this one.
Yes.
Like it's not Lumios or whatever it is. Like this and this are major cities. Like, and it's not too big.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could have gotten more. I'm just mad that we don't get enough Kalos, honestly.
Uh, that's fair because again, this is on the 3DS. There's not a lot you
Oh,
can do for the 3DS.
but you still had an entire region.
Yes, true. I will say this too. I wish they would have waited in making this because I mean, nothing against the city, Lumios, but I don't
Yeah.
like being stuck in one place. And then again, they are probably going to make that one place very, interactive and stuff like that. But it does make it feel so small and less like a Pokemon game because you're finding Pokemon within the city.
Yeah.
And I feel like that it's very limited. And I don't
Yeah.
and in terms of Pokemon world building, it doesn't ever feel limited, right? Because the whole
Yeah.
point is for you to explore and like um, get Pokemon to do certain things so that could cut paths and then you can see what this other location takes you. And I love the
Yeah.
exploration part. Being in a city, there's only so much in a city that you can explore before it becomes, in my opinion, repetitive. But this is all speculation. I won't know,
Also, this is where like X and Y was the introduction of like, if I recall correctly, the removal of um like PMs or HMs.
Oh.
Like you could, I know in Sun and Moon you could like call a taxi service basically. So
Hmm.
it's like you can call like
Wait, Sun and
um
Moon was after X and Y, right?
it was,
Okay, okay.
yeah. So like things are a little like fuzzy because it's been
Hmm.
a long time. But I remember that you could ride Go-Go in X and Y. You could ride Pokemon. Just just ride them around.
See, I think so. X and Y was my first Pokemon game that I owned personally. That I
Yeah.
did, like that was my very first Pokemon game. Um, and I enjoyed it. I really did. But Sun and Moon was special to me because that's when I met Rowlet.
That's fair. I mean, you can have your Rowlet,
I
but
always
like
have a Rowlet. He's so special to me. But
I
yeah.
legitimately think the peak of Pokemon was X and Y. And a lot of people want to
Mm-hmm.
argue with me on that, but I'm like, it had the easiest interaction. It had great introductions, great new Pokemon. Like, yeah, I'm pissed as fuck about Chespin, but like I can look past it for like everything they did for the game. Like you had friends, you didn't have rivals. Like y'all were lifting each other up the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
you never had that like millennial guilt of leaving a Pokemon behind because you had two of them. You had two rivals or two friends that would take the other two Pokemon.
Right. And again,
Um,
I remember mine was Fennekin. I loved the fox. That was my
yeah,
first one. Yeah. Fennekin.
Finnegan was really cool.
I love the design.
Roki was really cool. Chespin was really cool until he
Yeah,
evolved. Um, I'm bitter about it.
it's fine. It's
Like
fine.
it incorporated like very new camera angles
Yeah.
and it still had, if I recall correctly, had like the pageants, the Pokemon pageants that people were obsessed with.
Oh, yes.
Um Now I could be thinking of Oris, uh Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Um but like they had berries that you would grow
Mm.
and you would take
Oh, I
care
remember
of.
that. Yeah, the berries. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like in the online feature, you had an entire online world that you can go and like trade, just randomly trade. The amount of Pokemon that I would collect, like dinosaur Pokemon that I would collect and just random trade for people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know what you got, but here, you can have this. You can have this. As like, I understand not having someone that I can trade with or trust to trade like a good Pokemon for. You can have this Pokemon. I don't care. I will breed these Pokemon all day long so you can have it and not worry about it.
Mm-hmm. I
And like we could build like little castles in that. Like I legitimately think X and Y was the peak for Pokemon.
you know what? I remember we talked about this before. I have to
Mhm.
agree. Only because I remember when Sun and Moon came out, a lot of people did not like the changes that they made from Sun and Moon when you had a peak game like X and Y. And I do know X and Y is a favorite for a lot of those, like a lot of classic Pokemon players for the
Well,
3DS.
not just Sun and Moon because we had X and Y. Then we went into Omega Ruby and Alpha
Oh,
Sapphire,
that's
which
right. I
is
got
like
that
a
too.
classic
Mm-hmm.
remade and updated with the X and Y information. That's my
Mm-hmm.
husband's favorite
You're
is
right.
the Oris franchise.
That was fun too, and I had a good time playing that game. I
That
forgot
was a
that that
very
was
good
there.
one. And then you go into Sun and Moon where you're cutting
A
a good
lot of things off.
80% of
Yes.
that.
Yes. Cause and
And then you're throwing new things at us that it's just like, why? Why?
yeah. And okay, so keep that in mind between your thought of this and this new game where it is very much a bunch of new things getting thrown at you. And again, this is all speculation. We just only saw the trailer. We haven't seen the game. What are your hopes for this? Do you think this is a step forward or a step back? Or do you think that
I
a lot of
think this is a I think this is a stagnant step.
stagnant step?
Yeah, it has like
Interesting.
really good things, but I you're not wrong. This
Hi, Zaymer.
is like an introduction. This is a segue game.
Yes, I think.
It's a segue game, and I'm really mad at that because it's like this could be the next best Pokemon game. You
Ooh.
already had a great game with and Y. This is supposed to be the continuation of X and Y. This is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be the culmination of all of the game because it's Z through A. It's not Z, it's Z
I
dash
know.
A. It's Z
Trust me.
through A.
I
Like,
I
no, no,
know
no.
it's
I
Z
know, I
through A,
know.
but za.
But like that means that it's all of them.
Yes.
It's supposed to be all of them, and they're fucking with it and just making it a segue game.
I think that Sun and Moon was a segue game, and it took a step back. And I love Sun and Moon because again, Rowlet. But I do think that Sun and Moon was also a segue game, like them testing the waters of what they could change with Pokemon. And a lot of people really didn't like that they had to remove the best parts of what made Pokemon Pokemon to include this new thing.
Well,
And I think
also
that's why a
they
lot of people did not like it. But again, I was not a OG Pokemon player, but I understood when a lot of OG fans were explaining to me like the differences you included, why it was a harder game to enjoy. Now,
yeah.
um, in this case, I think as and I again I that X and Y was my very first Pokemon game, and I really and did enjoy it. I actually did.
Yeah.
I think that those who are not susceptible to the change may not like it as much. I personally think that I would
I mean,
greatly
you're
enjoy this.
pushing 30 years of like Pokemon.
Hmm.
Like people are gonna be fucking butthurt and difficult
Yeah.
about any kind of big change because
I
they bitched about it about X and Y.
yeah. Oh yeah.
They were not as happy, but a little more tolerant of Oris. Like they were pissy about Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Some of those for very valid reasons, but it's like every time they it's just very questioning.
Mhm.
It's like why are we making this choice?
Mhm. I think for me knowing my gameplay style and everything, I would enjoy this game. I just don't like that. The one thing I hate that they took away was the exploring, because you're only exploring the
Yeah.
city. You're not exploring the
Yeah.
region itself. And the region exploration was what drew me to it. Like, I just love exploring, and Pokemon did it very, very well. Not with Scarlet or Violet. I will say that it just felt so empty.
Yeah.
But in this case, yes, I wish they would have. I wish they would have waited for.
Actually, what I wish they would have done is not have this in Lumio City.
What do you think you should have done? Like the whole world? The
They
whole
just no, like if we're gonna have it as a Segway game, don't use it with one of your most popular regions and cities.
I was about to say from one of your most popular games. Where do you
Yeah.
think this testing I think the reason why they did it as a Segway game is because it was so popular, and those who really loved X and Y are more
And then
susceptible
they're
to having a
ignoring that
chance.
people are like not being tolerant of this shit anymore.
Well, that depends. Maybe people who are OG fans are like, oh, they're bringing X and Y again. I can't wait to see what it's like. And then they see this secluded into one city, which wasn't this big in
Yeah.
through the 3DS. So they really had to expand it. I just don't like that I'm contained into one area. I don't like
Yeah,
being
same.
contained. But yes, gonna be a new Charizard form on the bingo card. No, we don't have that on the bingo card. Maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, it's I
Um,
greatly I am excited. I'm not gonna be playing this though. I'm not gonna buy this game only because I was actually vastly disappointed with Violet and Scarlet. My husband had a
Yeah.
good time and he played with his friends, but the only thing he could say that he enjoyed was trading or playing online with his friends. Everything
Yeah.
else was kind of dull because you're just wandering around a bunch of empty spaces until you go back to the city. And again, I did like that the story branches off in different directions. I like that they did that, but they really need to pad out the area to just include more things that doesn't make it boring when you travel. That's my.
Yeah.
I don't like empty spaces. Give me something give me something to visually appreciate. I
Yeah.
like that.
I think because they took away so fucking much,
Mhm.
starting with the Switch games. Now Let's
Ooh.
Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu are
That was
um
fun.
fine.
Yeah.
And like this is coming from OG. This is coming from OG. This is coming from Red and Blue.
Yeah.
I think it's fine because it was the introductory for our children. Specifically
Yes.
our generation for our children.
Yes, and
This
it was
is
very
us
hand-holdy.
intro-
Holy shit, it was so hand-holdy, but in a
yeah,
good
it
way.
was for us to introduce with the Pokemon Go hype and everything. The introduction of it to
Our children.
our children and the younger generation
Mhm.
because it's Kanto
Mhm.
and it's all Pokemon Go logic. So it's that happy medium between the two. And I'm not mad with it, but it's like anything after that, I think has completely lost the Pokemon charm.
I would agree. I'd agree. In terms
Because
of like
there's
Switch games, like Pokemon Switch games,
yeah.
yeah. Like the 3DS games, they knew what their limits were for 3DS, and they were very creative working around that. But for the
Yeah.
Switch, I feel like they could have been better. A lot of the Pokemon Switch games. Now again, Pikachu and Eevee, that was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. I did say even for
Yeah.
me as a beginner that was so easy. But I also recognize that it was meant for younger generation to have a better understanding of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 second. Zamer says the only real enjoyment I've seen for Scarlet and Violet, which speedrunners long stopped enjoying, and to the point of almost touching it, is from be your Pokemon and turn into a prop hunt game. Oh my gosh. No, I think a lot of people held out such strong hope because it was like a really big Pokemon
Yeah.
Switch game. Like they were really excited for the Pokemon Switch game. However, it fell so flat, and I think it's because they divided their attention between Scarlet and Violet and Arceus. Because of it, it felt so empty. Like it was a big old nothing burger. And the fact that they didn't even allow you to go into stores and explore like the settings of the store or whatever, it's just a menu. There was nothing. That game had nothing in it. But there was
So
also
like
Sword and Shield
they're
was completely different because Sword and Shield, based in what is it, Scotland, Ireland,
yeah,
somewhere in the UK,
yeah, basically UK.
basically UK. It was the
Yep.
memes were 10 out of 10 because everyone was like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
Scotland. That's what I thought. And it still held something when you traveled. Like it was very nice.
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet didn't have that. Like it was just, it was nothing. That's why nobody ever talks about it because that game literally had nothing. Like it was just
So
nothing.
they're saying Sword and Shield was 2019 and Arceus and Scarlet and Violet were both 2022. And it's like, you're not giving anything enough time for
Mm-hmm.
you to like, and you're not listening. You're not
No,
giving enough time for people to like enjoy the game and get worn out from the game and then just listening to what it is because I bet you anything as soon as they released Sword and Shield they immediately went into
oh yeah,
Scarlet and Violet
oh yeah,
and like
just to
by
churn
the
out more
time
money.
people and by the time people were talking about it they'd already established and cemented a lot of stuff that they could not go back and change.
Mm-hmm. I think hopefully when they took time between that and this game, yes, I can see that it is a testing game. You know, this is literally just a game to test the waters. That's it.
Yeah.
Because they have it in a secure like one location. It doesn't show that they have a lot of characters. Like again, Scarlet and Violet did have a lot of characters, right? In
Yeah.
this game, they only introduced about 4. So there's not a lot to work with. And I hope that because it's in a more limited space, that gives them more creativity to really, really like.
I'm gonna warn you, I'm gonna be annoyed as fuck at seeing the city the entire time.
No, I agree. I have to have a change of setting.
Because it's like, cool, I am on a side street of a city.
Hmm.
I am on another side street of a city. I'm on the rooftop of a city. Like,
Yeah,
they're getting lazy, is what it is.
I think so.
It's
They're
not,
cutting costs.
no.
I feel like.
It's not cutting costs. They're just getting lazy. I don't think it's cutting costs, honestly. Because it's like, cool, you can give us rooftop battles. Why can't we have, like, treehouse? Like, where are tree houses? Like, why can't we have tree houses? You can give I bet you anything we're gonna have a sewer fight. Because it's like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
so like, okay, why can't we have caves? If we're gonna, like, we're in a city, it's Paris, we're gonna have sewers.
Hmm.
Why can't we have caves?
I do think
Like,
that.
we're having parks, why can't we have open fields? Like, you're just
Oh yeah.
being lazy as fuck.
And that's true because remember in the trailer we saw you're walking down this alley which is filled with Pokemon, but it's still Pokemon in an alley.
It's Pokemon in an alley, and it's,
I don't like the limitation. Like again, I will say it's sing its praises with you having to
these are
move
bad
around.
limitations.
These are bad limitations, but I do
They're
like.
good limitations, these are bad.
Yeah, I don't like the setting. It's like okay, I do like the setting of the city. I always like city settings, but I don't like
Yeah.
being like restricted to one place. I don't like that. I do, however, again, I'm seeing the praises. I do like that Pokemon is taking a step forward and making it more like action oriented in terms of gaming because you do have to move around, you do have to time things, you do have to aim,
Yeah.
for your attacks to hit. I like that because a lot of times I do get bored just, clicking the same thing over and over and over again for a Pokemon. Um, so I do like that they're taking a step in that direction. Just it's
Yeah.
not taking away what Pokemon is, but it's making you be a little bit more engaged with the gameplay.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they made this game, is to it's to see if people like that style gameplay, so the next big game in a new region
This
will,
should have been the big game.
huh?
This should have been the big
It
game.
really
That like
has.
that's what I keep trying to get at.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be the culmination of all of the previous Pokemon
Mhm.
from Switch, 3DS, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy. Like it's supposed to be the culmination of all of them, and they were just using it as a test game.
It is. It's very much a test game. I think anyone can see that it's a test game, like just testing the waters. Here's a
And
question.
we should have done Arceus
Mhm.
right after 2022, 3 years after Sword and Shield. Fine, that would have let them experiment with that one because it was an experimental game.
It was a very
And then
experimental game.
push Scarlet and Violet back to now
Mhm.
and let them do all this and have that one be the test for all these new mechanics.
That should have been true.
And that
Yes.
and then the first Pokemon game for the new Nintendo Switch should have been Pokemon A through Z or Z through A.
Oh, you know what? I can
That's
agree to
how
that.
they should have done
I
this.
agree to that. Because honestly, Scarlet and Violet has nothing, no substance. If they use that
Nothing.
as a, yeah, no, nothing. If they use that as a test game, I think more people would be, of course, they're going to be like, well, they could have gauged better what would hit or miss. Because
Yeah.
I can't tell you, I can't express the disappointment I felt with playing Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
Like, it is, in my opinion, the weakest Pokemon game. And I have played the classics. I've played Yellow, I've played Crystal, I've played Omega Ruby and Sapphire. I played like a lot of that in my adulthood, right?
Yeah.
But in my personal opinion, do believe that Scarlet and Violet is the weakest Pokemon game, and including Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Like, it is the weakest
Yeah.
game. It has nothing, and it was hard for me. You know what? I didn't even finish it. It was just too hard for me to continue playing it. I couldn't even pick it up again.
Yeah.
And like, it was just it was hard. I did not like it. I did not like it. Now,
Oh
with
yeah, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond was also in 2021. So there's literally been
Brilliant
a Pokemon
Diamond,
almost every single year. There was not one in 2024.
I don't even know if I've heard. Let me look this up. Brilliant Diamond.
Yeah. It's like with the chibis.
Oh yes. Oh yes. 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 And Shining Pearl. Yeah, because it's supposed to be like the
Mhm.
Diamond and Pearl. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. I haven't played that one.
Yeah, I haven't played it either.
That was okay. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that it's supposed to be a remake of Diamond and Pearl.
But yeah, I think Pokemon's Legends Z through A is just going to be a failure.
You think? I think
Yeah.
people are going to test it out for its new gameplay mechanics, because that is what interested me in the beginning, was the gameplay mechanic. Because it's something that, even for someone like me, I like to have a little bit more interaction, to focus a little more. Like, I do like that. So it's interesting. But other than that, the setting, well, while I do love Lumios, the city, I do not like being restricted to one city. I feel like it takes away the whole exploration of finding different Pokemon from different
Mm-hmm.
locations and regions. Because you're not going to find an coastal or ocean Pokemon in the city through a fountain or something. Like, that makes it doesn't make sense in my head. You know? I don't know. I'm interested to see. I am interested to see how this is going to turn out, because I also believe that not every Pokemon in X and Y is going to be in this game. That's just speculation.
No. I mean, at this point, they
They have to
haven't.
cut. Yeah, they have to cut a
Sword
few
and Shield,
Pokemon.
Sword and Shield didn't have it. Arceus didn't have it. Scarlet and Violet didn't have them. Like they've been like Sun and Moon didn't have them. Like they've been cutting Pokemon out because it's been like over 900 Pokemon at this point.
What? Oh yeah, they're gonna have to cut it. I do think that they cut corners. Like you can absolutely tell they cut corners for Scarlet and Violet. Absolutely cut corners. Um, so I don't know. I'm
My bad.
expecting.
There are over 1,000 Pokemon species
Oh my
in
god.
the National Pokédex.
Well, yeah. Okay, you know what? That's
This
fair.
does
You're gonna have to cut
not
them.
include regional variants, Mega Evolutions, and
Is
uh,
this for X and Y though? I'm talking about X and Y Pokemon. Specifically X and
um.
Y. I don't even think they're gonna put all of the Pokemon in X and Y that they originally did into this game.
Well,
I
in
think.
X and Y, they still had like pushing 800 Pokemon.
But and that was with the limitations of a 3DS. With this Switch, I don't think they're going to. Even with the Switch, which is powerful than the DS,
Hmm.
I don't think they're going to cut a lot of corners. I think they're going to cut a lot of Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
And I don't like that. I feel like it's going to be a little linear with, you know, going through
Yeah.
alleyways and stuff like that. It's going to make the world feel so much smaller.
And I think that's also what's been suffering with a lot of the Pokemon games since the Switch is that it's so linear.
Yeah, it's
It is
going to be
so
linear.
linear. Like I remember what Sword and Shield that I could travel kind of okay, pretty easily, but it was still really linear. Like if
Mhm.
I am wanting to go from one place to another, I have to kind of go this very specific route.
Oh, also, I'm reading Zamer. You're not being ignored, Zamer. I'm reading all your stuff. A lot of things you have stated is very much aligned with ours. I do think that the remake of Diamond and Pearl, since it was made by a third company, I can understand why they removed a lot of things. I haven't heard about it, so that's why, I can't really put my 2 cents into that. Um, I don't know about Az or AZ there. I being old while being immortal. Who knows? He probably could still age. Who knows? I would be surprised if the main box legend will somehow appear. I would be too. I don't think that's the goal, though. I don't think we're looking for the legends in
Which is
Lumos. Lumios?
Lumiose,
Yeah.
which is frustrating because like that's the point of the Pokemon games
Mm-hmm.
is these legendary creatures.
I think instead, this is, like you said, a base test game. I don't think it's a real, actual, like, maybe this, I shouldn't say this. I don't think this is like what the Pokemon game would be. I don't think, and I know you say this is supposed to be the X and Y third game, like how each
That's supposed to
Pokemon,
be the
the
culmination.
culmination.
It's supposed to be the third game for X and Y. We're supposed to go back to Kalos, or like we're supposed to be in Kalos, but
Hmm.
like, nope.
I think that they may state that to get the players from X and Y to come back and be like, see, look, we didn't forget you. That we know this game was popular. We know you like it. It's going to disappoint a lot of fans, and it might. Then again, this is all speculation from what we saw in the trailer. It might bite them in the ass.
Gonna bite them in the
It
ass.
absolutely will.
Yeah,
Yeah. This is. Not, I don't think this is a good look for them.
yeah.
Anywho,
Actually, I honestly don't think Pokemon is a good game for the Switch.
you think?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to ask that, but we're already cutting over
Yeah,
our
we're
time.
over time, but like I legitimately don't think like Pokemon is a good game for the Switch.
I think if it does, okay, this is before we go. If it does have to be a good game for the Switch, I think they need to do what they did to Zelda, like a top-down chibi version of like the previous Zelda games.
Link's Awakening?
Link's Awakening and Zelda's game, with the staff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah.
is such a cute game. It's so fun. The world itself is also like it's very cute. I like that. If they did that
Or
with,
make the world not boring. Well, hang on. Back up. 2-minute rant.
okay.
We have a huge ass like what is it? Fuck. Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Uh-huh.
3 different levels. 3 different fucking levels of a massive ass map. What's the
Oh,
realm?
I love that. Yeah, on the Switch. On the Switch. And
On the Switch. Why can't we fucking have it? Why
I
can't we have
know.
more?
True. I mean, Pokemon. You need to talk to the devs for Zelda, and y'all
It's
need to talk.
not boring.
It's
We
not
have massive open fields, and it's not boring.
in 3 different
Like,
layers. I mean, obviously the sky layer is a little different because you only get sky
what-
platforms, but
what is-
the underworld
Hyrule.
ground.
There we go. Sorry, my brain fucked up with Hyrule for a
No,
second.
you're good. But like the underground, like that, the gloom area, that blew my mind because you were the one who told me to do that because I forgot.
Yeah, I was like, hey, guess what? You can go down.
And I was like, the fuck? And it's the exact same map as the one above. Like, my goodness. And that's on the Switch. Pokemon, you have no excuse to how
No
shitty
excuse.
Violet and Scarlet. I will never forgive them for Violet and Scarlet. That is the weakest, most terrible game. And I will die on that hill. Kill
Yeah.
me. Anyway.
All right, we gotta go.
Yeah, we got to go. Who are you?
Hello, I'm Abby Curie. You can find me here. Maybe eventually, I'll get around to it. I should really sync my Sky account to my
Steam.
my Steam account. Oh, girl, I'm gonna actually call you while I'm like finished getting ready for
Okay.
work. By the way, because like
Okay.
I need to talk. I need to talk to you. Because
Okay.
I know you have not been paying attention to the Discord. I have Instagram where you can find my crochet projects now that Christmas is over and I've finally recovered from fucking everything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm finishing up crochet projects, so I'll be posting more there eventually. Twitter and Blue Sky, at your own risk. Who are you?
I am a bowl of ricey. You can find me at a bowl of ricey on pretty much all platforms. Twitch, TikTok, what else? Blue Sky, Twitter, and I think that's everything.
But not Twitter.
But not really Twitter. Honestly, I have taken a step back from Twitter and it has done wonders for my mental health. Fucking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so find me on all the other platforms. I stream from Tuesdays through Thursdays, sometimes Fridays, depending. And we're playing Brutal Legends. So if you like heavy metal and rock and gore and a buttload of cursing, please join me. It was fun. Oh, and hot
Great
mommies
music.
and hot mamas.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Mommy.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
You can find me there. Where can you find us?
You can find us here on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can also find us on Twitter at What's Europinton. That's WHATSYOUROPIN10. You can also gonna end up finding us on YouTube
Yeah.
because Twitch has capped our highlight hours.
Yeah.
Starting April 19th, they're going to limit how many hours of highlights we can have down to 100. And so we're gonna have to start transferring literally everything over to YouTube.
Yeah. But we'll work on
starting,
that.
like today. Well, we're
Yeah,
gonna.
starting today.
I already have one downloaded, but like, or last week's downloaded, but if we don't get this resolved like today or over the next three days, we're gonna end up like losing like a lot.
Yeah. And we want you guys to enjoy our previous VODs as well. They're special.
And besides,
to us.
if we end up forgetting to highlight a VOD, it's on us. We don't want someone taking that away from us.
Yeah. We'll
Which we
figure
have
something out.
done.
But so watch out for that. If we do, once our YouTube does launch, we'll send it through Twitter. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great week. Please stay safe. It's already warming up. I'm very excited. However, I do not like that there's pollen fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Anywho, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.